Hello, everyone. You are listening to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory.
And I'm Isabel.
And this is a podcast not like other podcasts. We don't just talk about culture, we change culture.
Yes, we do.
Let us know how you feel about the new intro. So far, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback. Let us know. But you guys, I know I'm excited. I know you're excited. We have Isabel is back.
Yes.
I know you guys have missed her. She is back. I'm so happy. I've missed you. How have you been? Anything fun, cool, and exciting happen?
Well, just all the things. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so just living life, being me.
Just living my life.
Being the main character of my life. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously. Just adulting stuff, work. Being a corporate queen. What else? My car is finally back. It was in the shop for like weeks. But I don't know. I feel like things are getting better. I'm turning a new chapter. It's fall, I guess, officially. So wearing a little fall shirt from Turning Point USA. This is actually their new merch. So I really, really like it.
Can you stand up for a quick second so we can see the full shirt?
It says
or
USA,
scoot back a little bit?
And it comes in a cute little burnt orange color. And if you use my code, Isabel and Mal, you get 10% off my NATP USA merch. So if you just go on their website and click the link, it'll take you to their shop, and then you can use my code. But anyways, yeah, so not too much going on, honestly. Not any big life updates. So I don't know. I guess could be better, could be worse, but we're here. What about you?
And that's
I missed
life.
you. Thank you so much for having me. Like, seriously, I've missed the podcast so much. Like, so happy to be here. So thank you.
Oh, I'm happy that you love being here. Podcasting is super fun. I absolutely love it, but some people don't, and it's good to have people who like it, who actually want to come on, and like who can actually want to have conversations and who have opinions on different topics. Because sometimes there'll be people who are on, but they don't really have opinions. They're kind of just talking. But it's cool to have you on.
Thank you. Well, it's always really fun. You make it so easy, and I just feel like, obviously you're my friend, so it just literally feels like we're talking to each other. But then when you're like, oh my god, we have so X amount of listeners, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're actually listening. I'm nervous now. I can't like think about it too much. Otherwise, I just sound really like not myself. But because I'm awesome, and I just need to let our personality shine, No, but podcasting has been really fun, like truly. I mean, I've told you this. I've always wanted to do my own podcast, but I think like this definitely like helps like kind of ease my way into that. And it's just fun having another person. So, but I also feel like you have a good range of people on your podcast. Like it's not like just the same thing over and over. That's one thing that I wanted to tell you. That it's like it's fun because you have different people of like all different kind of just like walks of life, so it makes it interesting, And I feel like a lot of podcasts these days are very like repetitive, and it's like okay, But anyways,
yeah. Well, thank you so much for the compliments. I did not pay her to say that. No, I like having. I like having the different range of people because I want it to be interesting. Like this is a long-term thing. This has goals. It has purpose. Like this isn't just. I mean, I love just sharing my opinion in general, but that's not really what it's supposed to be about. Like it's also supposed to be changing culture. So that's what's that. So a couple announcements. Oh, actually, before I say that. I'm going to announce this. I just feel the need to announce it.
Like what?
For those that don't know, I have a jewelry store. I started making jewelry in the fourth grade.
Aww.
And I made my jewelry store in the 5th grade and off and on, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, I took a very long hiatus, but it's back. Yay. And this necklace I'm wearing right here
I was supposed to ask you. It's so cute.
Yes, thank you. It's going to be out in collection. Actually, everything I'm wearing is going to be available in the store, except for this one up here. And then this necklace is going to be part of like the basics collection.
Oh, I like that.
Like just me randomly announcing. So like everybody should have staple. I think everybody should have a staple necklace like this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Everyone should have a staple necklace like this. Everyone should have a staple hoops, gold hoops. These will both be available as well. And then this is a a rose, and it kind of comes from, there's like a whole background. I'll do a whole video on that. But since you were talking about like where your shirt is from, I want to talk about where my jewelry was from.
I love that. I love and you're also supporting obviously your brand, but it's another Christian conservative brand that you guys can like support. So definitely support you know, all the conservative brands that you can. I try to be more conscientious of like what I buy and where my money's going, and I, you know, obviously like jewelry and stuff too. And I mean, it's just fun to support people like small business owners, because I feel like, you know, just in general, supporting small businesses, everybody, we could do more. We could do better at that. Like no one dances, and when you go to not Marshall. Okay, I love Marshalls, but no one's doing a happy dance when you go to Walmart or Target. But it's like when you're a small business owner, like every little sale like makes you so happy. So
it genuinely does. And like I'm going to share some about like what the rose means, and like there's so much more behind it than just like a little rose. It's the logo of the pink rose, and like even the basics. There's so much more behind why I wanted to have just. We're going to have more, it's really just me. I'm going to have more, I'm just like you saying we for like other stuff, like those are the girls is a we, other things I do is a we, but this is just me.
I told you I have a whole PR team, okay?
Right, you know what, I'm joking.
It's my PR team.
Quiet, Pedro, quiet.
Yes, Leslie, I do want my coffee with 2 shots.
No, but like, I wanted to start off with the basics. There's like a reason why I want to start off with basics and like staples, just like some things that everyone should have.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah. So you guys look out for that. You can follow Shop the Pink Rose on Instagram, and I'll have all this stuff out soon. Okay, well I just wanted to say that. So announcements really quick before we get into this, our stories. Want to announce you should join our Patreon. If you enjoy this podcast, if you enjoy all the other podcasts we have, Diapers and Degrees, Oops, Spoilers, if you enjoy what we're doing, if you are behind our mission to come into the culture and change it, we're not like the culture. We talk about pop culture. We talk about these things, but we're not like them. We're going to say things that they're not going to say. If you like that mission, if you want to be a part of that, join our Patreon for $5 a month. And I will appreciate it. Everyone here will appreciate it. Your $5 makes a difference. It goes into production. It goes into making better quality podcasts. It goes into getting better quality things and some other things that's going to be happening in the future. 2023 is going to be amazing. Some things that Isabel's going to be a part of.
Ooh. I'm like, that's me.
That $5 a month can truly make a difference. So if you enjoy that, patreon.com/thosearethegirls. Also, too, we're still collecting money for to purchase organic pads and tampons for a middle school in Charlotte. They heard about what we have been doing with the women's shelter and how we did so great with that, and they want us to help stock this middle school. Eventually, I would love for this idea, this program, working everything out, I would love for this to be translated and happen not just in Charlotte, but in Houston, in San Antonio, in San Francisco, like all over the country. It's just us women coming and pouring into and helping other young girls. And then also too, this is just a good way too to promote like, hey, your period is something that's beautiful and unique about you. God made us women this way. This is not a burden. This is a blessing. Woo! And eventually that's what I wanted to start being, and like, eventually maybe talking, like this is just a small step into like a bigger plan. So what we're doing right now, we're raising $200 at the time of this recording. We still need $155. So if you want to donate $5, $20, $15, $155, please feel free to do it. I'll link it in the description. I'll also link it on the show notes, and it's all over our social media as well. So if you just donate, any amount matters. And if you can't donate, completely understand that. That's fine as well. Try to share the link. That will make a huge difference if you share the link. Okay, the last thing is this week's Oops, Spoiler was Do Revenge. Either this week or the next week, I have a special guest coming on to talk about it. The next one will be Luckiest Girl Alive. Ooh. It is an book/audiobook. I listened to an audiobook, and it's also a movie now on Netflix. So we're going to be reviewing the book and the movie and talking about it, what we liked, what we didn't like, and the special guest is coming. So it'll either be this upcoming Wednesday or next Wednesday.
Gotcha.
Last thing is yesterday, a new episode, the day before that you're hearing this, a new episode of Diapers and Degrees is out. Keep listening to this, share this. This podcast is so important. Diapers and Degrees is so important in this post-Roe America, because there are women out there who need to hear that you can be a mother and you can still be successful. You can have all of your dreams come true. It might not be the timeline that you planned. It might not be at the exact same time that you want it to be, but it is possible. With God, anything is possible. Diapers and Degrees is a fabulous podcast. Victoria is doing fantastic. So I want you guys to keep listening to that. And last but not least, this week's sponsors are Culture of Life 1972, Garnu, and American Woman Beauty. You can use the code Those Other Girls 1972 for Culture of Life to get 10% off. You can use the code Other Girls 10 for Garnu to get 10% off, and you can use the code MAL15 for American Woman Beauty to get 15% off. Okay, that is it. I guess we should definitely get into the main stories. Are you ready to talk some tea?
I have my little mug that you gave me.
Clink. And you can get these mugs. Saturdays are for Weekly Teacaps. You can get it in white or black on our website, thoseothergirls.com/merch.
Yes, ma'am. Cheers.
Cheers. Clink. Okay. So our first story is a story that's sad, but before I say the story, it's an announcement, really. And this is another announcement. You know, Sister, right? I think you saw me. I shared it.
Oh my god.
So Tia from Sister is divorcing her husband after 14 years.
That's so sad. And
Tom Brady and Giselle, so they're getting a divorce, but Giselle hires a divorce lawyer amid marital woes. And it's really sad. All of these people are getting divorces.
Literally the same week. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what is happening? And then I don't know anything about the Try Guys. Like, I know it was everywhere.
What does that mean?
Did you see that last week? It's these group of guys, and one of the guys cheated on his wife. It was all over Twitter. You don't really get on Twitter, do you?
Girl, no. I can barely keep up with
all
Instagram.
Over Twitter. Yeah, no, Twitter was like a buzz. I was like, what are a Try Guys? I have no idea what it is, but apparently he's a really good guy, but apparently he cheated on his wife, so now he's not a good guy, and everybody's sad.
Wow. That's not good.
Yeah. So I'll read really quick. This is from page 6. Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen seem to be headed for me neither. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Seem to be headed for the end zone. Both have retained divorce lawyers. Multiple sources tell page 6. I know. I bet whoever typed that was like,
they were like, yes. Clever. Sorry.
As previously revealed, the couple has been living separately for the past couple of months following an epic fight, and they're now apparently looking at dividing up their multi-million-dollar empire. Quote, I never actually thought this argument would be the end of them, but it looks like it is, end quote. Another quote, I don't think there will be any coming back now. They both have lawyers and are looking at what a split will entail, who gets what, and what the finances will be, end quote.
That's crazy.
Reps for Brady and Bundchen did not respond.
Dang.
Yikes.
I just feel like that's a lot. I mean, we've talked about this before a little bit, but yeah, celebrities. I just feel like divorce is so rampant, and like, what did they say? 50% of marriages end up in divorce in the United States. I don't know if that's stats is like still accurate, but it's just crazy, bro. I mean, but you can't really expect too much of these celebrities. You know, but it's, I don't know. They also were married for a pretty long time.
I think that's what's so surprising. I mean, same with Tia and Corey.
Yeah, like 14 years, right? Like
14 years.
That's a long time.
And with Tia and Corey, like, I'm shocked with that. Like, Tia and Corey,
because Tia, like, I with Sister, like, I think so highly of them, like.
Yes,
and I thought they were Christian, but maybe not, because they also are on like that one show, The Table or whatever it's called. Not The Table.
The game.
No, they're like in this where it's like it's I don't know if it's Tia or Tamara, but they're on that.
Oh, Tamara is on. It was called not. Oh goodness.
Freaks. What is that show?
Because I actually kind of liked it. Tamara was on
because it was the same with what's her name, the girl who dated Rob Kardashian.
Yes, exactly.
Why
can't I remember it? Yes, the cheetah girl. Okay,
the circle.
This won't bother me.
It's like the circle, the table, something.
Yeah, keep saying words. Keep saying words. I'm looking it up.
Circle, the table.
The real.
I told you like the circle.
Yes. You're like the circle, the table, the square.
I was like, it was something like short. I remember. I remember.
Yes, the real.
Yes.
Honestly, I think the real was such a good idea. They just started to get repetitive and
they started to get woke. Like super woke.
And I was about to say,
yeah, girl, they were saying something, and like they would bring up. I understand one thing is bringing other people from other like points of views, but it's like they were going hard on some of these people that they were bringing on their show, and I just don't like Whoopi, that woman.
So that's a different show.
Oh, just kidding.
So Whoopi is on The View. Okay, so The View is old women.
Okay. I was like, wait, never mind.
The real is the young women, so like Tamara and Adrian.
Okay,
yeah.
Tamara, okay, let's talk about the
but I will say, so Tamara is like not quite, so close, but not quite. So Tamara is definitely a Christian, and she is kind of woke, but I will say she definitely is a lot more conservative. Her husband used to work for Fox News, but I don't think he was conservative.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Okay,
I don't know their backstory. But let's make it snappy.
People think that people think they're Trumpers. I don't think they're Trumpers.
I don't think so.
I think that they just
hold.
Me neither. I think they do hold conservative values.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and people on the left, like if you agree with one thing on the right, they think that you're worshiping Trump. So I think they do hold conservative values. Right. I think they do hold some conservative values. I will say that because there are times where like Tamara definitely was a little bit more wholesome, for lack of better words, than the other host. Even Adrian, who's married to a Christian singer, which is a whole other conversation.
I know.
Because, they met while he was married. Anyway, I don't want to speak on anybody's marriage, but
right.
It's a little sticky.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I think it's like one thing is being like obviously conservative and like Republican or whatever. But another thing is just really having those like basic values, like those fundamental like Christian values, like family, right? Like family and not getting divorced and having a mom and a dad, like all those values. Because like if you think about Tia and Tamara, I mean, I've been a fan of them since like I grew up with them, right? Sister, that was like the funniest show ever. And it's like even then, like they were very like modest. There we go. They're very modest.
Yes.
They're not going to be those girls that are going to be like in their thongs and shaking their butt and like listening to
and they're still very modest.
Profanity. Like they're very decent. If that's the word. Yeah. So that is shocking. So I'm like, man, that's crazy.
So sad. And I'll say like what you were saying about Giselle and Tom.
Yeah.
I hate, like, it's shocking, but at the same time, we all know she's a witch.
Yeah,
she does all these rituals and to help him. So like, if you don't have this worldview, if your worldview does not, as we've talked about on this podcast numerous times, if your worldview does not attain that I have to be holy over my happiness, then you're going to make decisions like this.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what was going on in the marriage. From the outside, we're just talking about the outside looking in. For all we know, he could be abusing her. We don't know that. And I'm not putting that out there. From the outside looking in, I'm just talking on that. It looks like they're just unhappy. They're upset because Tom did not retire, which I understand that. Like, she's been a single mom for how many years? Like, she's a single mom for 6 months. 6 months out of the year. So I'm sure she's tired of that. And if he said he was going to retire and then he doesn't retire,
like, what are you doing?
I don't blame him. Yeah. So
it's a very like world. Yeah. Like it's a very I feel like when you don't have like if, I don't know, if you're not scared of God, it's like, oh, every decision's kind of very easy. You're just like, oh, I'll just get divorced. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
just go with the wind.
Easy. Yeah, exactly. So, like, from a worldly point of view, obviously, like, it doesn't make sense, but I could see why they were like, oh, we had this argument, we're going to divorce. I also think if one argument cannot be the end all be all. I think it was like I said, I think it was definitely, like there was
building
already built up, and then they were like, all right, they probably both wanted an out. Because usually, sometimes divorces drag on. I act like I'm a divorce attorney. I'm like, usually divorce.
Tell us. What do you see in your law firm?
Statistically. I'm like, no. But I think, like, you know, if you're going through a divorce, like, sometimes it drags on longer because one side of the party does not want to end things. They're like, well, we should get like a counsel. I'm surprised because I thought there were steps like separation and then like, you know, marital counseling, separation, couples therapy, and then maybe divorce. But they just said, no, honey, we getting divorced. You're getting the papers.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like they were living separately for a little bit. I don't know. And this could also just be the beginning stages. Like, they still might have to still do. I know in North Carolina, so I've had a friend or two get divorced. I know in North Carolina, you have to be separated for a year before they do that. Like, you have to.
Yeah. And you know these celebrities do whatever because they have money too. Because sometimes divorce is expensive.
That's true.
People can't even afford to get divorced. But I mean, they have money, so it's just more of like a transaction for them. And I'm sure they both have prenups. Because he's not just successful, she's too.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I heard another podcast talking about. I didn't realize like she. I don't know who she was, but she's like a famous model. Like
she's like a Victoria's Secret model, like one of the OGs.
Like, yeah, I had no idea.
Giselle, she's beautiful.
She was a pretty face.
She's gorgeous. She's one of like the top models. I was obsessed with the show, one of America's Next Top Model. So trust me, I know about everything. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would know.
I had no business watching those shows, but yeah. Anyways, next story, because I'm like, it's 8:30, girl. We gotta.
So our next story, we're going to be talking about Kardashians. Ooh. It feels like we have a story about them like once a month. But this is very interesting. So it's two stories in one. The first one is Kim and Scott are being sued for their celebrity luxury giveaways. And the second one is Kim she is going to have to pay the SEC millions of dollars for her crypto ad. And I'll read both of those articles in a second. But it's just very interesting that this is happening all around the time she is starting her company. I totally should have looked up what the name of it because it's like
equity?
Yes, her private equity company.
So funny.
So it's very interesting. She's going through having all these legal troubles around the same time.
That's something that's kind of like killing her brand. Because I'm like, how are you a lawyer? The comment section was crazy. They were like, how are you a lawyer, but you don't realize you're about to get sued.
You know what? That's the other thing too. I'm like, let me tell you something. Money, you can be anything you want to be when you are rich. Literally. She one day woke up and said, let me try law.
Yeah.
Let me try being an equity firm. Let me try perfume. Remember she had the perfume? Like, when you're rich, you can literally be whatever you want to be.
Like, yeah, have you seen those things?
Rich.
Have you seen those like those things where like the celebrities take on like regular jobs because they have like a fetish of like what it's like to be a real person? Like Lady Gaga was working at Starbucks one day. I mean, like I think I saw pictures or something. I don't know if it was fake or stage, but they literally are so rich. They're like, I wonder what it's like to be a normal person.
Hilarious.
Can't relate. Literally can't relate.
Cannot relate. Being a normal person has not been an experience.
It's
not been a positive experience.
It's 0 out of 10.
It's 0. I didn't ask for this. It's just one day I woke up and this is how I was.
Literally.
I would not recommend being a normal person. Well, let's be honest. We're not really normal people anyway.
Exactly. We're celebrities.
I mean... okay, so here's the first story. Here's what the first one happened. So Page 6 reports that the Kardashian districts are currently being sued for $40 million, divided evenly between the two of them, by participants who applied for a chance to win the celebrity luxury giveaways. Do you remember them posting those? The luxury giveaways?
I think
I remember Scott doing it.
I remember Scott, and I think they were like in a staircase or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and I remember Scott doing it and thinking, like, you're so much more above this. Like, why are you doing this? That's weird.
Yeah, because usually people that are trying to grow an audience.
Right. So the lawsuit does not come from the fact that these participants didn't win the giveaway. For there are legitimate previous winners in the past. Never heard of one.
Same.
Rather, the lawsuit stems from Kardashian and Disick not communicating with the applicants that their emails, phone numbers, and more private information will be sold to advertisers as a result of their participation. That I just can't even imagine, like,
that is wild.
How much money they could have gotten if they were selling, like, people's information, because they probably had so many people's information.
Yeah.
Your sound is off.
But they're just posting and stuff. Oh, sorry. I said that's what they have to be careful with what you post and what kind of, like, they should have read the fine print, because every time, I mean, I'm not Kim Kardashian, but I'm just kidding. But I do get, like, collaborations and stuff, and that's one of those things where, like, they send you the contract, and you have to really read through that to see what the fine print is. So I'm sure the fine print, they stated that their information could be used for yada yada yada. I mean, they have to, but they probably didn't read it. I don't know.
No, and they probably were supposed to say it, but they didn't. They didn't say
so
it.
Anytime you post, like, a giveaway, you're supposed to be like, this is not in no way sponsored or administrated by Instagram or any of its affiliates, whatever. Anyways, I'm no law student, so Kim Kardashian should have done that.
So, in the second way Kim is being sued, so this is from NBC News. This is how big it is. It's at NBC News. Dang. NBC News says Kim wasn't the only celebrity dabbled in crypto ads, but many won't face charges. Mega influencer Kim Kardashian agreed to pay $1.26 million in penalties to the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, to settle charges that she illicitly toted a cryptocurrency token on social media without disclosing how much she was paid for the promotion.
Wow.
So
she must have been paid good for her to just be like,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, that girl's, like, loaded, so it doesn't really matter. But
and I don't know. Don't know how it feels to have $1 million in my bank account.
Right.
And I don't know how it means to be a celebrity, but I'm just curious, does all of this money come out of, like, her bank account? Like, is she going to wake up and be like, okay, so now $1 million, yeah, like, do I need to do a transfer? Like, I wonder how that works. Or if she probably has, like, a Kim Kardashian, like, she probably has, like, a personal bank account and then, like, a Kim Kardashian as, like, her business bank account.
Entity. I don't know, girl. How does that freaking work? I'm curious. How do you withdraw so much money?
That's what I can't even imagine. Like, I would be sobbing. I'd be like, what can I do not to have to pay you? Like, I cannot imagine having to give because, I mean, she's giving it away. Crazy. She's never going to see it.
That is crazy. But it's probably a pinch in her.
Oh,
her bank account. So, like, I would never understand.
She probably heard the 1.2 and, oh, that's nothing.
Like, that's Trump.
Take it. And take some for your children. That's probably what she said.
Girl, I can't even.
I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine.
But, you know, if Kim wants to sponsor or invest in your podcast, then let Kim.
That's very true. Kim, if you're listening, we laugh in fun. We're laughing with you, not at you. If you would like to invest into Those Other Girls Media, we would love to have a meeting.
Yes, you would.
You can email hello.thoseothergirls@gmail.com. We would love to. Isabel is she's great at contracts and marketing and things like that. She will come with me so I don't sign my firstborn child away. And so I don't get too excited. My concern is, like, and this is me being completely honest and also me kind of being a little silly, but my concern is, like, somebody, like, really big is like, oh, I love what you're doing here. I'm going to buy it from you. And I'm going to just be so excited that they're going to say any amount and I'll be like, yes! When then, like, I should really be like, no, let me be a businesswoman. Like,
you gotta negotiate. You gotta make sure, you're not getting
the first number,
girl.
Like, I'm just nervous. The first number is gonna be like, oh yeah, sure, cool, whatever. And
I know. Like, no, actually, girl, that's me.
I shouldn't negotiate.
Yeah, when it comes to brand partnerships, I'm not the best. I'm like, oh, you want to give me that for free? Perfect. I was gonna do it anyway. But I've learned. You gotta. your time is currency, and you got to be paid for every single thing that you do. I mean, that's like how Kardashians are what they are today. The mom was like, I don't know if you saw that documentary, and she was like, my daughters are not going to do anything unless they're getting paid. And that started when they were young, like when they were going to clubs and stuff. They could have easily went to clubs and got bottles for in exchange for them being there. But they were like, no. You're paying them. I'm like, dang, I need me a Christianer in my life.
I know.
I need to be a Christianer. Because I'm over here like, sure, I'll do it for free.
Let me tell you, sometimes I get so excited, like, oh, cool. I'm like, no, Mallory, you gotta be a better businesswoman. Yeah. That's why I need, like, I'm definitely more of, like, the idea girl. I'm more of, like, the creative mind. I need my foil. I need someone to be creator. Like, yes. I need someone to be like, stop. We'll discuss this with our lawyers.
Well, see, I feel like I could be that person, but then also if I get something shiny and pretty, I'm like, oh, look, they're giving us free coffee.
You said you're gonna give us free coffee for a year? Did you for a year free coffee?
I'm such a.
You want my whole IP?
I'm easily influenced, you could say.
Speaking of
okay, next
business stuff. Here's our mid-roll ad. I don't know how to transition. American Woman Beauty. These are beauty products for the free-thinking woman. Just join the beauty revolution. American Woman Beauty was founded on the idea that all women, men, and children deserve high-quality beauty, grooming, and hygiene products that are made in the USA. Many of these products that they offer are handmade, so you can expect the highest quality products without any compromise. All the products are cruelty-free and not tested on animals. Let's support businesses that support Let's support businesses that support our values. Listen to episode 180, and I interview Vivi, who is the founder, and we talk about where she got the idea from. We talk about some of the things going on with the business and everything. And you can head over to www.americanwomanbeauty.net and use our code MAL15 to get 15% off of your purchase. Okay, last story. I think this is something that we can talk about probably a little bit more in depth than we talked about other things just in general, because we both are in the dating world. So the next story is from TMZ. Here we go. Tristan's cheating caused me brain trauma, and I have medical receipts. Khloe Kardashian. I know, like, I was like, this isn't funny, but this is funny. Like, that's why they titled, it's how the article is titled. Khloe Kardashian was torn up over the latest Tristan Thompson cheating scandal, and now she has medical proof it messed with her brain. Dr. Daniel Amen, his name is Amen, was at the ready for a scientific stunt for the Kardashians' Hulu show to show there's medical proof she was experiencing brain trauma, presumably from the scandal. So Khloe laid down on the MRI machine and got a brain scan, and the good doctor sat her down with some interesting results. Dr. Amen showed Khloe the telltale signs showing brain trauma. Who knew? But you can see the subtleties and changes in brain patterns that expose such trauma. Okay, so I'm going to go first really quick. A lot to unpack. I'll go ahead. You can go if you really want to go. Well, I was going to say, when I first saw this story breaking, or when I saw it when it was broken. Anyway, when the story first came out, I was like, wow, this probably does make sense. Like, I have had relationship trauma from, experiences, and I definitely can tell there's certain things about me that has changed, not necessarily in a negative or positive way, but things have changed, and I think this does make sense. I mean, other types of trauma change your brain chemistry, so I guess this does too. Mm-hmm. I feel so bad for her. Yeah. You're paused again. The sound. While you're doing that, yeah, it is sad. Like, this, you're right. We're all going through different things, and it's 1,000 times amplified when you are a celebrity. And she is a celebrity, and unfortunately, everything she does, everything she's going to do is going to be on national TV. And I mean, how many of us have been cheated on before? And thank God, the people who know are just our family and friends. And even I know that, like, when I'll say for this, like, when I had my breakup and it was like a really weird breakup, I was uncomfortable letting people who I knew know about the breakup. So I can't imagine like how it is and the whole world is watching. Welcome back. Sorry, and the whole world is watching. Yeah. I also feel bad for Khloe. And I think I don't remember if we've mentioned this, if Isabel and I talked about this like offline or if it was on the podcast, but I'll say it again. I feel bad for Khloe because she was known for so long as the unattractive Kardashian, always being compared to her sisters. And it just doesn't, it seems like she just can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Like everybody can at least, it's so sad. It seems like everybody has like a decent time of love, or like they find this, they find that, and then something happens with Khloe. Like Khloe has all of these dramatic like breakup endings. She's staying with this guy. It's so sad, and I think it kind of goes to like
I feel like it reaffirms everything that she probably feels about herself. You know?
Yeah,
it just sucks. Yes, because like she's quote unquote not like her other sisters, and so I feel like that's been ingrained in her head, and so she's probably believing all that. I mean, like. It's just so sad. And then, yeah, she's had really tough relationships. And I mean, I can't even imagine being in her shoes, to be honest. And like, she had some trauma with her relationships. They weren't just like, oh, we're not meant for each other.
Right.
The guy, Lamar was a freaking like drug addict and stuff. And she was married to him, like married.
Right.
So I forget, like, I mean, they literally look, they don't age. So they literally look the same. But this girl has been through like the ringer. I mean, she's what, 36, 37, which is not even old. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, in my head, they're still, like, in their 20s or something, like, late 20s. But no, Kim is, in her 40s.
Yeah, she's been through, like, Khloe has been through a lot. And I think it just also goes to show, like, I'm in a lot of forums for people who are trying to lose weight. And one thing that they always talk about is how, you work on losing the weight. You get the weight off, but you also have to work on, like, your inside. You have to work on, like, who you are. Because, like, a lot of the insecurities, even if your insecurities go away in the sense of like, okay, now you're perceived as prettier by mainstream society. You might not, anyway.
Yeah.
Now you're perceived as prettier. Even if that happens, if you don't fix what's on here, you're still going to view yourself as not attractive, and you're still going to respond to things as if you're not attractive, because you're, for example,
you'll never be satisfied
right now. Right. And for a good example, is like right now, and I think this is kind of what's going on with Khloe, if you're in the bigger weight category, you might not get a lot of attention from guys. Well, you lose the weight, and now you're getting a lot of attention from guys. But because you have not fixed what's on the inside, you're so desperate for that attention, they'll just take it from anybody. And that's one thing that, like, you, like, in the groups and stuff like that, like, they tell you, like, you got to work on yourself, because when you get in that situation... And your inner confidence, because when you get in that situation, you don't want to be that person who's just accepting love or attention from anybody, and then you end up with a bum, with a bum that's cheating on you while you're pregnant. Like you attract third trimester Tristan.
Yeah, it's like I told you before, it's like you attract what you think you deserve. Like people will settle in relationships because and maybe subconsciously that's what they feel like they cannot do better. Like they can't physically have someone that's going to be there for them, and like it all comes down to learning about yourself. I mean, the beauty, the pro of side of being like very having a long single season is that you learn about yourself, you learn about you know your childhood trauma and your pain, your experiences, they shape you to who you are, but it's a lot of the self-work, you know. And also it's just like you can have all these things and the money and the fame and the surgeries, but like ultimately if you don't have Jesus, like you're just gonna never gonna fill a void, you know. And I was talking to my sister about this. It's crazy with surgery and everything, like it's just crazy because like once you get, it's like an addiction. Once you start doing that, it like you want to keep going and going. I mean, how many people get like one tattoo and then they have 2 tattoos and 3 tattoos and all of a sudden their whole body's covered in tattoos? It's because like you never stop. Like I was telling my sister, it's kind of sad because we're kind of saying like, oh well, this is how God made me and I'm not happy about it, you know. And then, or even if it's like you don't even believe in God, it's kind of like saying, oh, mom and dad, well, thanks for bringing me to this earth, but I actually don't like my nose. And it's like you're so like you're disrespecting like your family. I don't know, this maybe sounds silly, but it's just like, you know, like you should be proud of your nose and your lips and your hair and you know all of that. It's like if I had a child, I would be so sad if they were like, oh yeah, I hate my nose, and they had my nose or something. You know, like it's just you just have to and be confident in who you are and how God made you, because we would be so boring if we all look the same, like truly. You know?
And I think it all has to come down to like having your confidence, your self-worth in God. Because also too, when you think about it, for example, is lips. I remember being in college and I've never had a problem. I love my lips. I've never thought that anything was wrong with them. But I remember being in college, a guy made a comment about my lips being big. And I was like, okay, all right, whatever.
Like, I didn't even know my lips were big. Yeah.
Right. Didn't even know my lips were big. I just thought my lips were my lips. I can put lots of lipstick on them. That's what I care about. Yes. Fast forward to now, people are paying to have their lips as big as mine. Like, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, that's how trends change.
Oh, yeah.
Before, this so was fleeting. Like, apparently.
Yeah.
Everything's so fleeting. That's why you have to have your confidence in God. Now, there's things that I can understand. Like, for example, the one thing that obviously comes to mind for me will be, like, weight. Right. Many times there's times I've considered doing the surgery. I think that is going to be a different conversation than lips because one is health involved and two, it's just such a different.
And you're also not going to be it's not like you're going to be fake happy about. It's not like, oh my God. Like it's like, okay, I like there's days where I just do not feel pretty. Like I just do not feel like confident. I just don't feel like this and that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go to the extent of, okay, I need surgery because one day I didn't feel happy.
Right.
You know.
Right.
That. But it's like, you could be sad about certain things. Well, not sad, but you could be, you know, like, I want to help in these areas or whatever, you know.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't want to make it seem like we're shaming people who have surgeries. I'm not saying that at all. Or people who have lip injections. I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just saying, like, things change. And, like, that's why it's really important to go ahead and have your confidence in God.
Just be rooted in something that it's not a physical appearance or anything.
Yes. I like be rooted in something that cannot change.
Right.
So what God says about you cannot change. And, you know, I'm talking to myself because I struggle. That's something that my biggest struggle is with myself.
I think in women, we're just so bad at the comparison game, you know?
Yes.
We're so bad at the comparison game. Oh my God, I want her hair. Oh my God, I want this. I want that. I want her lips and this and that. But it's just like, we should just be happy with who God made us. But it is easier said than done because I still fall for it, especially with social media and like all that stuff, which is also another topic. Like literally people do not look like their pictures. There's a bunch of auto-tune and filters and like, it's crazy. Like, I was watching a documentary on the Victoria's Secret models, and like it's crazy how retouched they get. But if you see them in like the camera and stuff, you can see like their stretch marks and everything, which is not bad. It's normal. But that's definitely, like I said, that's another subject for another day because there's just some crazy stuff. And I just feel bad for young girls thinking like how, like, oh my goodness, like trying to attain something that's not attainable. Like to look like a Kardashian is unattainable. It's unrealistic, and
they don't even look like Kardashians.
Unhealthy. Yeah, they don't. I bet you they don't look the same in picture or in real life because they edit everything. Everything's edited.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
You can edit videos now too. I saw a video of them editing a video of someone editing the video saying like you can edit everything. So
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to wrap this all up, if your confidence is in God, if your confidence is in, okay, God, like, if you can say to yourself when you feel this way, because it's going to happen, no matter how beautiful you are, it's going to happen. when you get those feelings and moments, instead of saying, okay, I must get a new nose. All right, God, my nose is my nose. Like, I just feel like there's just certain things, like my nose is my nose. Okay, God, I'm frustrated about this. Please help me to be okay with this. Or God, you know what? My confidence is in you.
I think it's like
my confidence is in you.
Yeah, one thing that helps me when I feel that way is just being grateful. It's like my nose, I have it so I can breathe. Like my hair, it's like every part of your body is there for a purpose. It's not really just because, oh, you know, God gave us this face so we could put filters and put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like our face is like, you know, it's our face. We breathe through our nose. Our eyes are to see, you know. How many people are like, wish they could see and they're blind? How many people have no teeth and they wish they had teeth, you know? How many people get burned and they don't have skin? Like, I'm just like, okay, God, thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm grateful. You know, it's just those little things.
Yeah.
Like, people don't have hands. They don't have feet. They don't have arms. And I'm over here complaining, you know? It's just, I think like replacing everything with gratitude. And I think it really, really does help. Like, you know, the way you feel about yourself, and it just takes away the attention on you. I feel like Satan does a really good job at like making everything about us and like how we look, how we feel. But once we start feeling gratitude and like, you know, replacing that with how grateful we are about ourselves, about our lives, like it really does change things. And so it just takes the freaking focus out of you, because like I said, we're not perfect, and like it's just crazy to think that, you know, one day we're gonna just be completely okay with ourselves.
Yes. So, and another thing, last thing to say about this, I started doing this. I have tried to be just content. Yeah. Like, you know, there's body positivity, body negativity. I'm not body anything. I'm body neutral. Yep. So like at the end of the day, and I think sometimes we get so hyper focused on, I must think that my body is this amazing, beautiful, wonderful thing God's gonna. Or you can just think that it's the body that God has given you. I'm being honest. Like, you can just think that your body is the body God has given you. Right. And you, like Isabel was saying, I'm grateful that I have arms. I'm grateful that I have legs. And you can move on from that. You don't have to, well, you know, there's some people like, oh, God has given me this body from my nail tip to the hairs on my arms. I have the most beautiful, unique body. You don't have to do all that. Right. You could just be like, God gave me this body. Thank you, God, for this body. Let me move on.
Did it record?
And that honestly has helped. That helps me. Yeah. That really helps me when I'm not hyper focused on like, I'm beautiful. Oh, God, I must be beautiful. Like, if I don't focus on that, I can kind of like, I don't know, I feel better.
I also feel like it's not the most important thing. Like, who cares? Like, not like who cares. Exactly. But I'm like, that's not the most important thing. You know?
Yes. If we make it not the most important thing, that's what's going to do it.
Clearly it's not just because you're pretty, you deserve like things or not. You know, like your beauty has nothing to do with like, you know, what you deserve, because what you deserve is who you are, and your worth comes from God. And so it really, like, just, you know what I mean? Like, to whose standards are you trying to be beautiful? Like, to whose? Right. Like, really, you know, you know what I mean? So it's like, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Like, especially when you're thinking about dating, like, the guy's going to like you for who you are. And if not, then they're not the guy for you. Like, you know? Right. But anyways, I got to go in a little bit because I think I have to go with my dad. But okay, sorry.
Okay. Well, no, it's okay. Well, that pretty much wraps it up anyway. Everybody remember, like, your worth and your beauty is not attached to random things. It's attached to God. If you enjoyed this episode, it's a quick, short one, but I think we talked about some really interesting topics. Yes, if you enjoyed it, please make sure you share this episode with all of your friends. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you share with your friends. If you like this episode, please make sure you rate, review, comment, subscribe.
Follow us on Insta.
All of that. Follow on Insta. Do all of that. And then that's that. All right.
Bye, guys. Bye.